Ed and Ronnie take the stage, bringing news from a different page. Truth served hot and bold and strong. Every week we sing along. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. Stories that make you think and pray. A light awaits at the end of day. Guided by the stars and stripes, through the stormiest of nights. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. When the world feels like a fight, hold your ground, stand for what's right. In the truth we'll find our way. Ed and Ronnie light the way. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. Red, white, and true will stand tall. Echo the call loudest of all. With hearts of faith and liberty, together we find unity. Together we find unity.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie, and the show starts right now.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to Red, White, and True with Ed on the left, Ronnie on the right. What's up, Ronnie?
You know, I got a little testimonial here real quick. So today's our first day back after a couple week hiatus. And to be honest with you, I wasn't as excited as I should have been until we were sitting here and you prayed. And then you fired up the theme music, and I was sitting here trying to clean my desk off of the 1, 2, 3, 4 MRE spoons that I found sitting here. And I just had this weird feeling like I was supposed to be here, right here in this chair right now. So I felt home. Well, I'm happy. I'm glad we're back.
We might give the impression that we are supposed to be outdoors. You've got a forest in the background. Yes. I've got cherry blossoms in Washington, D.C., but we are here And if you would you get ready to play that audio clip that we were given today? You said, and you'll have to look at us. It's just audio. I know that's a difficult task, but Ronnie, go with that audio.
Turn it all the way up here.
The wait is finally over. After a 2-week hiatus, your favorite duo, Ed and Ronnie, are back in the studio and energized for a brand new episode of Red, White, and True. The wait is
Love it.
All right. Welcome back. Welcome to those that are joining in as we go. If you're here, we're going to encourage comments, okay? Throw in the comments where you are from, who you are. Tell us where you missed us. We missed you. And, there's no secret. There were several reasons we took a little bit of time off. Ronnie has got a new part-time job, and we got to, work the schedule around a little bit, and we'll talk about that some. And just to be quite honest, Ronnie and I were both just burnt out on the political scene. We day after day after day, the same stuff over and over. Yeah. And it was like we were in Groundhog's Day or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
New day, same stories.
There for a little bit, this is what we were dealing with. All it was talks about Iran and the Strait of Hormuz.
Rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season, rabbit season, duck season.
Uh-oh.
We can only talk about that so much.
Right. And, you can only make, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know that a whole lot has changed news-wise because we're still talking about the Strait of Hormuz, or that's what's in the news. Trump is on his way to a big summit in look at what your mom said. I said, put a comment in, tell us who you are, and all that stuff. I'm your wife and your mom. There you go. We love you too.
We remember. We remember.
Yeah. But hopefully, something positive will come out of the summit in China. I never, hold my breath when it comes to China, Russia, North Korea, Iran. So, those four to me are about on equal standings. But, hopefully we can get some understanding with the Chinese about, there's no doubt, Ronnie, that China is helping support Iran. I mean, right. It's just
China and Russia,
no doubt.
North Korea.
And I'm finding out, right? I found out today that Turkey, a NATO ally,
a NATO country, cool,
is helping Iran funnel money and things like that.
That should be a straight NATO violation, and they should be kicked out. Plain and simple.
I mean, I don't know all the details on how that happens, kicking somebody out of NATO, but I don't like the fact that Turkey is part of NATO to begin with. I don't trust them at all.
Yeah.
And but whatever it would take to openly support the enemy of one of, I don't know who Turkey's other allies are, but if they're part of NATO, then the NATO countries, I would assume, are their allies. And to openly help the enemy, I agree with you. It ought to be expulsion.
Yeah. because that's how you get countries like Iran to be the world sponsor of state terror. That's how you get that kind of thing. Countries funneling money to them, helping them out.
Well, we've got plenty to talk about, but I posted some things on X that basically when I repost things on X, it's just to help me keep track of things that I want to talk about. And this one has nothing to do with anything other than I love talking about the founding fathers, and I love rubbing in people's face that say that the founding fathers were deists, which is one of my least favorite words in the dictionary, meaning they believed in a higher power. But this quote comes directly from John Adams, and on X, it's got his picture there. John Adams said, "We recognize no sovereign but God, and no king but Jesus." Now, Ronnie, does that sound like a deist to you?
No, not really.
Not in the least. And so there is my opening salvo is quoting one of the founding fathers.
All the deist stuff comes from the Masonic, the Masonic following and all that. That's one thing that I learned about that.
They again, if you don't believe me, and please don't believe all of those people that tell you that information, go read the founding fathers yourself and you'll find out how they believed.
That's right.
So take off, bud.
We've been gone 3 long weeks, or two, 3, whatever it was, and we haven't had some laughs, and we haven't had Kennedy yet. So here we go.
I don't hate anybody. I've said that before standing here. I don't. But if I had a short list of people that I would consider hating, Congressman Eric Swalwell would be on it. Here's my impression of Congressman Eric Swalwell eating an ice cream cone. Life is hard, but it's harder when you're stupid. And if you're going to be stupid, by God, you better be tough. This is no country for creepy old men. And Congressman Swalwell, he about to find that out. Karma may be slow, but it's almost always on time.
Gotta love him.
When that came out, and I watched it, and he hit himself in the forehead with the ice cream cone. That just made me want to, oh my, love Senator Kennedy. And Bill and Tanya are in here, and that's a good thing. They got their dose of Senator Kennedy right out of the chute here.
Yes, and I do have another one. Alice sent me this a couple days ago because I told her we were going to come back to Red, White, and True. And she sent me this on TikTok and said, "Daddy, you need to play it on your show." So here we go.
Imagine when Jesus returns, it's not trumpets, but it's something else. Nice day.
So thank you, Alice. I appreciate it.
So you have to explain the music to me.
So it's just I don't even know the song. It's just she sent me a bunch of them, and it was this guy saying, you know what, imagine when Jesus comes back, it's not trumpets, it's this, and it was just some like metal song or something like that. So yeah.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Alice.
So let's see here. Do you see this? Now, we've talked on here several times that I'm a Star Trek fan. Star Wars, not so much. I never got the point of it. There was humans in a galaxy far, far away, a long, long time ago. We'll start out with chapter 4. But anyways, so Mark Hamill, the actor who played Luke Skywalker, decided to. He's a famous libtard, but he took it to the next level.
Well, we are getting reaction from the White House now to a disturbing post that was put up by Star Wars actor Mark Hamill. White House correspondent Jackie Heinrich live on the North Lawn with the reaction. This was a pretty disturbing post.
Yeah, John, the actor best known for playing Luke Skywalker put out an AI-generated image of President Trump in a grave with the caption that reads, "If only." And it comes just days after yet another attempt on the president's life at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. The suspect in that event has been charged with an attempt to assassinate the president. Hamill writes in his post, he should live long enough to witness his inevitable devastating loss in the midterms, be held accountable for his unprecedented corruption, impeached, convicted, and humiliated for his countless crimes, long enough to realize he'll be disgraced in the history books forevermore. This man, this actor, also recently appeared alongside former President Barack Obama to mark Star Wars Day, as well as the opening of the Obama Presidential Center. Those two pieces have White House officials really upset at not just the content of this post, but the fact that Obama has not denounced it yet. A White House spokesman says to Fox, Barack Hussein Obama just appeared in a video with this deranged lunatic 3 days ago. Now this same person is calling for President Trump to die. Why won't Obama and Democrats condemn this disgusting call to violence? The rapid response page for the White House also called Mark Hamill one sick individual, saying these radical left lunatics just can't help themselves. This kind of rhetoric is exactly what has inspired 3 assassination attempts against our president in 2 years, John.
Yeah, what happened to this idea?
I almost cut it off, but I'm glad I kept it on there because she's absolutely right. That kind of rhetoric has spawned 3 assassination attempts. 4.
Well, one thing that didn't change while we were gone was the insanity of things that the left is willing to say. You've got information in a little bit about what was said as humor about Charlie Kirk, and let's hold off on that until a little bit later. But I can't think of any good reason, and certainly no humor in what was said, and it's just getting worse. It's just getting worse. Let's see what Bill and Tanya had to say. Why is no one doing anything about this? All these horrible, ugly things, and nobody seems to care. But if it was the other way around, it would be all over the news. Well, not only some of the things are being cheered by others, not outraged like there should be, but well, that's fun. See, that's not funny. It's not funny at all. And it wouldn't be funny if we did it. Now, you played a video, and you'll play it here in a little bit, and I said the same thing. And then you said, well, they also did a George Floyd joke. And I said, I don't think that's funny neither.
Yeah.
You know, Mary has a theory. Mary, in the comments, that bottled water has caused the downfall of American society. She says, and I think you put it up there, I swear people did not act like this before bottled water. Bring back drinking out of the hose. And I'm not opposed to that.
I heard a theory it wasn't bottled water, it was chewing gum. Chewing gum was the downfall of society because then people chew it and then throw it on the ground or underneath the table, and that was the downfall of society, not bottled water, chewing gum.
Well, I'm sure there are plenty of conspiracy theories that are like that.
But I like the bottled water thing. I do like that.
What news story you got?
Well, so while we were gone, we did not cover much of the White House press secretary, or what was it? The White House Correspondents' Dinner. Sorry. This was again another assassination attempt on President Trump by a crazed libtard. Now I'm going to stop that there, and I'm going to go back and play it again. What is the Secret Service's top duty, their top job, the whole reason they exist? To protect the president of the United States. Now, we'll go back and watch this video again, and if you watch, the first person that the Secret Service drags out is not the president of the United States, but it is the vice president, J.D. Vance. So there's failure number one. We're not going to get into analyzing how the guy got in with a gun, because that, if you've watched that video, it's just a whole list of security failures again. But we'll go back and watch this, and I'll play it through to when they get Trump out, and just look at the response time. All right. So he was one of the last to leave, and he didn't even get all the way out. He was kind of, they brought him down to his knees and then pulled him back up again. So a lot of people are talking about why that was that way.
Well, I read Trump's response on that, and he said that he was not a very good victim, so to speak, in that he wanted to see what was going on while they were trying to get him out. That because I think he was coming to the defense of the Secret Service, and I think in the past we've always assumed that the Secret Service was outstanding at what they did. Very rare for something to transpire like the 3 attempts, and so. Really, with Trump, I believe they're in uncharted territory, really. I'm not here taking up for him or anything like that, because, after the first one, it was pretty evident that was going to be
an ongoing issue,
a regular ongoing issue. And so, obviously they've got work to do, but, and I would think that the closer we get to 2028, the more problems that they'll have with that. Somebody wants to be the person that takes out Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
Well, a lot of somebodies want that.
A lot of somebodies. Here's another angle from that night.
It's very, very worrisome what happened. Just coincidentally, after they served the appetizers, I walked out to simply go to the men's room, but you have to walk up these stairs and walk out, and which I was doing. And as I was walking back towards the door to get back into the big area where the event was taking place, all of a sudden, I start hearing.
I'm going to cut that short because I got 2 more.
What we did see is some real deep, disturbed emotions in that room. One of whom was Erica Kirk. As I was walking out of the venue trying to figure out what happened and what we could find out as a reporter, as we're walking out, she also came out, and she came right by me. It was just a few seconds, in tears, saying,
Now, Erica Kirk, that is, when she left, was visibly upset, crying and everything. And a lot of people were like, not really understanding of it, but you kind of got to put yourself in her shoes. Gunfire at a huge event like that, isn't that a little bit of PTSD? Wasn't she there the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated? The same kind of thing? We can't hear you. You are muted.
Huh. Am I still muted?
There you go. No, you're good. You're good now.
Okay. What kind of a person would have made fun of Erica Kirk about that?
Yeah.
She wasn't there the day that Charlie was assassinated, but she's watched it. She knows all about it.
Oh,
just the fact that somebody was trying to kill somebody, and you know, with Candace Owens and her stuff, there's going to be a certain group that think that making fun of Erica is cool. And so I didn't get the fact that people were giving her a hard time or making fun of her. I mean,
Yeah.
just simple logic would say that, well, PTSD for those kinds of situations.
Well, a lot of people were like questioning her outfit and how she was acting and the guy she was with and all kinds of stuff. But I mean, she's not going to be able to go outside and fart without it being questioned by one side of the media or the other. But so, in typical Donald Trump fashion, after all was said and done, Donald Trump had to come out and Donald Trump.
It was very unexpected, but incredibly acted upon by Secret Service and law enforcement. And this was an event dedicated to freedom of speech that was supposed to bring together members of both parties with members of the press. And in a certain way it did, because
I'm going to cut that because we still got things to talk about, but I had a picture and the guy's name. I got rid of it. I don't want to notarize this guy. He was a teacher. He was a teacher of the month in December of last year. So
well, when you think about it, the order of succession being the president, the vice president, and then the speaker of the House, you would think those three wouldn't be together.
Yeah, so they did not have a designated survivor, which we've talked about during the address to Congress. There's always a designated survivor. They didn't have a designated survivor that night. The top 5-6 people were there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get those three having to be together, especially in the climate that the country is in, and the fact that, to me, that is not a major event.
No.
I like it. I think there's a lot of funny things that happened. I think if Trump would have gotten the opportunity to speak, and I think they're going to reschedule it, haven't they?
Yeah.
So,
I think which one?
But I think when he gets the opportunity to speak, we're going to crack up at some of the things that he says. But in the grand scheme of things, that's not a huge event that makes a difference in anybody's life. And so the need to have them there, and then you factor in that there was an assassination attempt, and people might say, well, he didn't even get close enough. It's an assassination attempt.
Yeah.
The same as the guy that was in the woods at the golf course. He didn't get a shot off, but it's an assassination attempt.
And we just Butler, Pennsylvania.
Well, yeah, that one did get the shot off though, and somebody did die. And so I wanted to share my screen here for just a second before we continue on. We are still in a state of war, even though things, I think Trump said the active part of the war is over, or I forget his exact quote on that. But I just wanted to remind people that we have the best military in the world. And
not wanting to play.
I forget, being gone for 2 weeks, I forget what I have to do differently
to fix it. Well,
yeah.
I got your back, Jack. I know what you're talking about. The best military in the world. We haven't shown this in a while, but this is the air and the ship traffic right now. These military flights. These are non-military flights. As again, you can see Iran's a huge island. Ships in the Strait of Hormuz, which from what I understand, they're all still stopped. They're not allowed out. Is that correct?
I believe so. I mean, you almost have to keep a program on what day it is, because today we're escorting, the next day we're not escorting. They close the Strait of Hormuz, we close the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, it's not making sense.
Let's talk for just a second. We are still in a state of war. We still have a massive buildup. We still have at least 2 aircraft carrier groups in the area. We just sent a nuclear sub into the area. And I don't know if anybody saw that. I don't have anything on it other than I was watching somebody else's live stream, and this nuclear sub had to surface to go. I forget which strait it went through. Obviously not the Strait of Hormuz, but it was kind of one of those. Look, we have a nuclear sub in the area.
Yeah, right.
Ayatollah and thugs. And so we're still in a state of war. I'm just going to give you my opinion. I admire the president for giving negotiations a chance. I admire him for wanting to make a deal. But you and I have both said this from day one. You can't believe a thing that Iran says ever. As a matter of fact, you can usually depend on it being the opposite of what they say. And so it's time to just blow them away.
Yeah.
They've messed with the world's economy. They've messed with allies that have been allies for decades, if not centuries. And as Trump said, they're laughing at us.
Yeah.
They're laughing at us. And they need to not exist. They need to start bombing anything related to the IRGC. Everything that is part of their military needs to be gone.
Which can be anything, because they're sneaky over there. And the Gaza Strip, they used hospitals and elementary schools as cover for their bases. So it's not an easy job.
And we put the word out like Israel did over and over and over. This is about to happen. You need to make sure that you are gone. But we're not going to stand around and be made a fool of. We're not going to stand around and allow the world economy to be held hostage by a group of, I don't even know what to call them. I could say a group of idiots or whatever, but there really isn't no adjective that really describes them other than an evil regime needs to be gone. And so what do you think? Are you at that point?
Yeah. I'm over it, because then we have weird stuff like this that makes absolutely no sense.
Are you going to suspend the federal gas tax?
Yeah, I'm going to reduce until let me tell you, as soon as this is over with Iran, as soon as it's over, you're going to see gasoline and oil drop like a rock.
How long are you going to suspend that tax for?
Till it's appropriate, yeah. Till it's it's a small percentage, but it's still money.
So if none of our gas or oil comes to the Strait of Hormuz and we're drill baby drilling, then why is in Indiana it was almost $5 a gallon?
I don't know of anybody that I have heard give a good answer to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you and I are too simple-minded.
I guess
maybe
we're not seeing the big picture here or something.
Because if I mean, our economy ought to be thriving because we ought to be selling gas and oil and everything all over the world. We ought to be taking advantage, and you know, again, we're probably too simple-minded, and neither one of us are experts in that field. But you would think if Trump brags all the time we got the best in the world, well then why aren't we, doing what we got to do? Why isn't Saudi Arabia and other countries over there filling the gap? Why Iran wasn't even supposed to be selling their fuel anyway.
Yeah. Nobody. The only thing that they could do is get from like Kuwait through the Strait of Hormuz and everything. But I don't know. I don't get it. If we have more than Russia and China and everybody else, then why are we not swimming in oil? Why are we paying? Why did I pay $120 to fill up my truck?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of sticker shock kind of things, and it's gone down 80 cents or so.
Well, our governor, who graced us with the state cutting the state tax off of gas prices, which magically dropped them down to like $1.20 cheaper than what they were. But then, for whatever reason, when he decided to re-up it and give us another, bless us with another 30 days, it jumped back up to $5 a gallon. So
yeah, I wasn't
quite understand.
I wasn't quite sure how that worked either.
The math is not mathing here.
Well, again, apparently you and I are just simple-minded.
Simple-minded fools.
Hoosier boys that.
Right.
What do you got? Bring something on.
See here. All right. So you voted last week, correct?
I did.
I voted last week too. These men got together, decided to plagiarize a song so they can get their hope of getting out there and voting. Not a drop of testosterone in this room. Enjoy. I had another minute of that, but I haven't made it all the way through the first time. Oh, you're still on mute, Pop. Oh, you're still muted. I don't know why it's muting you and then completely stopping you after a video. And it won't let me unmute you. Huh? Well, so yeah, I don't think the U.S. has the refineries to do that. I don't think so either. I know a lot of our infrastructure was not 100%, and I'm sure a lot of it got to go to waste. Thanks to Joe Biden. But what was that? Was that women or men? That wasn't a room full of men. Every one of them there, I suppose, were born men. You know how that side works, but yeah, I just sorry, I've had that one in the pocket for a little while. I thought it was funny. I saw another guy commenting on it, and he said something about it being a gay men's chorus, so that's how I saved that video. Looks like Pastor Ed's trying to get his mic to unmute. So while he does that, I'm going to cover my biggest story here. So last night I had the I guess misfortune to watch the Netflix roast of Kevin Hart. I didn't know if you wanted me to do this now or not, but I didn't know how long he was going to be gone.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we've already kind of prompted you up a little bit to it. This doesn't have the best language, and it's probably going to make you a little upset. But this was one of the comedians, loosely, Pete Davidson.
Tony reminds me of Charlie Kirk, in that he's definitely been on camera letting a guy unload in his throat. Kill Tony! Please, someone, kill Tony. Tony, nothing you say tonight will hurt my feelings. I was in a beef with Kanye, so I've taken shots from better gay Nazis.
So that was the joke, the big joke of the night. And I wondered, honestly, when I started watching, how long it would take before Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump got brought up. And I don't think in the entire 3 hours Donald Trump did, but that joke got brought up.
Well, that and the word joke don't belong in the same sentence. Repulsive is probably the word that comes to mind. Two different things about that in the context that he made it was obviously the death of Charlie Kirk, but then him talking about gay oral sex in with that.
Tony Hinchcliffe is a Republican supporter, and when at the end when he said "kill Tony," would somebody just kill Tony? That's his podcast is called "Kill Tony." So there was a lot of jokes aimed at him last night, but that was where I kind of drew the line, was the Charlie Kirk.
I guess we shouldn't expect any better from the left, but as Bill and Tanya said there, made him feel ill, so sick. There's just too many things going on in the world that give me that feeling anymore. Gut punches make me want to vomit. I'll just let you make any more comments about that, because that's one of the ones that really, really, really gets to me.
Here's a TPUSA's response.
This is about somebody who was murdered, and in really the most grotesque, public way imaginable, and he happens to be our close friend. And so for me, my perspective is just, I can't obviously divorce myself from the immediacy of the person that we're talking about here, Charlie. But two, I don't think it was funny. And when I saw the clip this morning, my instinct was I just cringed, because kind of in the similar vein that the people in the audience, that groan, because I'm not here to tell comedians that they can't do it. You can joke about whatever you want. I think comedy can be a really powerful outlet, especially when the culture was getting increasingly woke. Guys like Dave Chappelle were like this release valve on some of these tense cultural moments. I thought they were really important. I think comedians can be very important. For this particular moment, I just felt distasteful.
To me, that's kind of sad that that's all he really had to say. Oh, it's just distasteful. It's just distasteful.
I'm going to just let you comment, because I just don't want to. I just don't want. I mean, I wanted to address this topic for sure.
Yeah.
But now that we're into it, I just don't want to talk about it no more.
Mama said you ain't got nothing good to say. Say nothing at all.
Yeah, that's what my daddy always taught me.
Yeah.
That's what my daddy always taught me.
I've got a good story that I wouldn't mind playing, but I'm afraid they're going to cut it out. I'm going to shoot for it. We're towards the end anyway. So I don't know if many of you know, I'm a big rock metal fan. And one of the bands that I've enjoyed for a long time was Papa Roach. Well, I know we've talked on here before about Korn and Fieldy and Hetty and all them, and Korn giving their life to God and turning away from their sinful ways. Well, turns out now Papa Roach did the same thing, and I feel good about it. I wanted to share it.
My faith walk has been like a wrestling match, you know, and it started with my sobriety. I started going to meetings and going to recovery houses and stuff like that. And, you know, they're like, yo, you need to find God, or a God of your understanding. And it was a journey for me for years. And I'll tell you, like, the two things I never wanted to be in my life was sober and a Christian.
Right.
And like, look, and here I am now, you know what I'm saying? Like
So
a follower,
powerful.
a sober guy. And, but it was a rocky path, you know, to find that, and a lot of failure.
I just thought that was pretty cool. And if anybody's heard from Papa Roach, I'm going to play its two songs. The song they first became famous for and the song they've now became famous for, and listen to the change in the lyrics and just the whole thing.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. I need you tonight to bring me back to life. You're my word, you're calling. Running out of time, staring at the sign. Will you break my falling?
I'm going to cut that, or we're going to have to pay Papa Roach some money. But can you tell the difference in the two songs? You know, Cut My Life into Pieces, This Is My Last Resort, and then their new song. You know, I just loved it. I couldn't wait to share it. Oh, you're still muted again. You're muted again. There you go.
How about now?
Now I got you.
It's doing it itself because I didn't unmute myself. And I'm not sure what the deal is, but we'll rebuke Satan in the name of Jesus, and we will continue on. I just got an email just a second ago that I'm surprised I didn't see it earlier in the day. I mean, the email just came to me that we, the U.S., announced the loan of 53 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to help bring prices down. I'm surprised that, first of all, that the news didn't cover that, or apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been through headlines and all kind of things later this afternoon and didn't see anything. And I'm surprised that Chuck Schumer didn't come out and say that he was against it, because he's only for it when a Democrat is in there. He was for it when Biden did it. But when Trump talked about it, he was against it, which is Chuck Schumer's modus operandi, or whatever that phrase is.
MO.
Yeah. But speaking of Chuck Schumer, people may not believe this, but Leader Thune is going to put in front of the Senate a bill from Senator Kennedy that would stop the Senate from being paid in the event of a government shutdown.
For it.
And
I'm all for it.
That's going to be, the process is working right now. We'll probably hear more about it real soon. Chuck Schumer is for it. Chuck Schumer is for it.
Wow.
Of course, Chuck Schumer doesn't have to worry about money.
No.
You know?
No.
And when you think about it, I read their salary is $174,000 a year. And the multimillionaires that most of them are, that's just a drop in the bucket. And I don't know that there'll be a few that it affects, but I just have a hard time understanding when Chuck Schumer is on the right side of something.
It almost feels like it's wrong. If he's on the right side of it, he's wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
or he's got something else he's trying to fit into that bill or something. Because that's how they get anything passed. But
well, That's true. Hopefully, it's a standalone bill.
Yeah.
Because and it is. I think it's probably just like a Senate rule because it doesn't affect the House, which I would assume then it doesn't go to the president for a signature. But I think he's for it so that he can still be for government shutdowns and just kind of say, well, I'm not worried about what getting paid.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do what's right and shut the government down.
I'm taking a cut here too, you know.
Because they are in the midst of a 3.5 year period that, and I don't understand how some of the things fund parts of government for a year, but this one is supposed to fund basically what covers ICE for 3.5 years. And so I'm pretty sure that you can count on a government shutdown.
Yeah.
Of course, and we don't have, or I don't think you have, Trump calling the new name for ICE as being nice instead of ICE.
That was offered to him on True Social, and he ran with it. So I love it.
Yep. Let me look real quick. Let's see. Well, I'm not going to try another video. I'll just have to describe it. A local story, even though it's a national story as well. The Indiana Hoosiers football team, undefeated national champion football team. The only undefeated 16-0 college football team ever as national champions. We're at the White House and presented Trump with a number 47 IU jersey. And there was a little bit of controversy in that Mendoza, the quarterback, who won the Heisman Trophy, wasn't there. And I really, really, really think the media wanted to make a big deal about it. So ahead of time, Mendoza called the president and explained that he was busy with being in training for the Oakland Raiders, and that's the reason he wasn't there. And if you remember anything about Mendoza, he's a wonderful Christian. I think he's Catholic, so a Catholic Christian that gives God credit for everything, talks about Jesus all the time. And I just love the way that potential controversy was shut down before it ever even took place.
That was probably a very, very smart idea because it was going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, I could tell when it first came out. Started seeing teasers that Mendoza may not attend White House ceremony. And I'm like, oh, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. And
so Mendoza's a very intelligent young man. And think about it. He called the president.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'll just call the president. Couple other things. The IRGC, sometime in the last 24 hours, sent a small squad into an island that belongs to Kuwait that we have troops stationed there. That squad was likely a kill/capture mission toward U.S. forces. I think you would pronounce it the Bubiyan, Bubiyan island, belongs to Kuwait. If you was to look at a map, right there on the sea, Iraq and Iran come together, and then Kuwait is just a small jaunt from Iran, bypassing Iraq. And they were unsuccessful, by the way.
Ooh. Did you hear this weird story while we were gone? The airplane hitting the guy on the runway?
I heard about it, but I didn't look into it.
Here we go. Look away if you're squeamish. The guy was 44, had a very long, or 44, 46, had a very long criminal history, and decided he wanted to opt out. However, he did it on an active runway, which was very amazing. How did this guy climb a fence, scale a fence, however he did it, get all the way out to a runway, number one? But, he couldn't just opt out another way, and it caused a lot of damage to the plane, scared a lot of people.
Looked like he got vaporized.
Yeah, he hit one of the engines. It tore up the plane pretty bad. One thing I don't understand is I've seen other videos where they've got a bunch of different pilots and stuff talking to the air traffic controller saying, "Hey, there's a guy on this runway. There's a guy out here on the runway. There's a guy walking around. Okay, we got cops coming out. There's a guy walking around. There's a guy walking around." And then all of a sudden, boom, he gets hit. But security failure, I guess. But this guy somehow scaled the fence, got in somehow, went all the way to the runway. And
well, many times you and I talk about things, let's say Islam and different topics that it sound like we may be Islamophobic, or but our reasons are that Islam is an evil. and so we don't think that we should have Muslims in Congress. We don't think that Sharia law should be anywhere in the United States, or at least I don't. I'm pretty sure we're on the same page there. But here's another one that we could be, what would you call being a phobe of Chinese people?
for some reason, my grandfather was in my head there for a minute. Not going to go with that term.
Well, whatever it would be, you might think that why in the world would we have a person by the name of Eileen Wang, the Democrat mayor of Arcadia, California, has pleaded guilty to acting as a foreign agent on behalf of China. Why? Much like, why do we allow China to buy American farmland? Much like
military installations and nuclear silos.
You know, the joke that your mom and I have, the guy that said, "You think I'm stupid?" Well, I think we're stupid when we do stuff like that. And so that's homework for people that are listening. Find out what it would be, what phobe we would be, including somebody of Chinese descent. That'll be the assignment.
All right. I'm going to mute myself for a second. I'm trying to talk to ChatGPT. I'm going to ask.
Oh, all right. Well, as Ronnie goes and finds out what phobe it is of Chinese folks, couple more stories that I've seen. Mark Kelly, Senator
Okay.
Mark Kelly.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Cinephobe. You are a cinephobe.
Okay.
Whatever. They've got a word for everything.
They do. Mark Kelly's back in the news. He went into a classified briefing, came out, and told the press information from the classified briefing. Scott Jennings, who is a news person on CNN, a conservative news person on CNN,
which is
posted.
Weird.
Yeah, it really is, and he takes a lot. I mean, he's good. He gives a lot, but he takes a lot too. In normal times, a sitting U.S. senator going on television and sharing classified information that could be useful to our enemies as a scandal. Mark Kelly has repeatedly elevated his own partisan interest over what is in the best interest of America. So at least we're being honest. And CNN covered that story. Of course, Pete Hegseth has been all over that. And I hope that there is some kind of an investigation.
Hopefully. That's did you also see the Southern Poverty Law Center has been investigated now for money laundering and embezzling?
Okay. I have been on record against that organization forever. They would consider you and I domestic terrorists.
Absolutely. And we'd have our own webpage on the Southern Poverty Law Center. I've been there. Yeah, for sure. We'd have our own webpage, pictures, mugshots. Oh yeah.
And I think that is such poetic justice that they got caught in their fraudulent. They were paying
neo-Nazis.
Neo-Nazis.
The Southern Poverty Law Center, who stands up, takes all your collective money, and tells you, we're going to tell you who's racist and who's not. And they took all that money and made fake corporations and more fake corporations with no employees, turned it all into liquidable gift cards, and literally paying Nazis. People who consider themselves Nazis, Aryan supremacists in the United States, they were giving them these cards full of money to do their thing. I wish I had video on it just so you didn't have to sit here and listen to me, but I'll plan something for Saturday. We'll talk about this Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, I loved, one of the things I really am happy about politically right now is, and this kind of goes back to when Elon Musk was participating in Doge, the exposure of so much fraud. Now, there is a positive side to that, and to me, there is a negative side to that. The positive is that it's getting exposed. Hopefully, it'll be addressed properly. The negative goes with the addressing it properly. We're not seeing enough people go to prison.
Not yet.
So,
not yet.
Yeah. Well, speaking of treason, there is Representative Pramila Jayapal. Let's see. She decided that she would leak information to Cuba about what's going on with us and them, and blockade of them. Republican Senator Brandon Gill says, who do we represent? Do we represent the interests of the American people, or do we represent the interests of hostile foreign regimes like Cuba? And she seems to believe the latter. He continues on, I mean, the reality is that this is an evil communist regime that tortures its own people, that operates as a hub of some of our biggest geopolitical adversaries, including Russia, whom she also believes that she ought to be helping aid the importation of oil into Cuba for. This is so astounding on so many levels that I think it's something that the American people recognize, is that we've got a Democratic Party who is operating in the interests of our geopolitical foes. That is a problem. So there is a sitting congresswoman and a sitting U.S. senator, both aiding and abetting the enemy.
Yeah. Like it's nothing at all.
Yeah, like it's okay. And here's the deal. It's not okay. It's just not. It's not okay.
It's not.
You have anything left?
Well, I changed the last video. The other one, it's more powerful. So interview about Jesus. So other than that, nothing that can't wait. Donald Trump going to Trump.
So what happened is we have a ballroom that's under budget. It's going up right here. I've doubled the size of it because we obviously need that. And we're right now on budget, under budget, and ahead of schedule. I doubled the size of it, you dumb person. It's double the size. You are not a smart person.
And of course, after the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting, that was one of the first things Donald Trump talked about was, that's why I need a ballroom, a big, beautiful ballroom. But
well, and
he wasn't going to stop during our hiatus.
No. He's not going to stop until he's gone to meet his maker.
Yeah.
All right. So Saturday is we've cut down to 2 days from 3, and it will be Tuesday, Saturday. It kind of is just what it is. I know some people are disappointed, and some people were worried that what was the future of Red, White, and True, and we're happy to say that we're back.
We're back,
and
man.
We are. And so Tuesday and Saturday, we'll do our best to do in 2 days what we were doing in 3. So say goodnight, Ronnie.
Night, everybody. Thank you so much for being back. Man, it's a pleasure to be back. Glad we're here.
It does feel good. And so until Saturday or before, we're still on that part. It could be back before if something breaks loose. Until then, go out and do the right thing.
What would you say to Jesus if you could meet him? I wouldn't say shit. Really? Nah. Bro, I'd kiss him. I'd kiss him. I'd kiss his feet. No one say nothing.
Shia LaBeouf recently did this interview, and an interviewer says to him, let's talk about Jesus. What would you do if Jesus walked into this room right now? And Shia LaBeouf just starts breaking down. He starts weeping. He said, even cussed in his answer, he said, I wouldn't say nothing. I'd kiss his feet. And he can't get it together. I wanted to show the clip, and then I was like, I don't think I can show that in church. And you're laughing, but then I said, why can't I? Because we're so unnerved with his word choice, but you're unmoved in your worship. What do you think bothers the risen Lord Jesus Christ more? See, we got a problem with people based on what they say and what they do. Jesus has a problem with us based on what we don't say and we don't do. It's right here. So here's the thing that some of y'all are getting ready to send me an email about, and I won't read it. You're gonna go, well, are you making space for sin? Get your head right. No one's making space for sin. We just need to know that you're no better than that guy. He says a bad word and you say shoot when you stub your toe, and you think God's with you and not with him. I mean, get serious about this stuff. Like, we're all being sanctified. But he's struggling how he's struggling. What if you told us how you're really struggling? Just because you're good at keeping yours a secret doesn't mean that he's a bigger issue than you are. Just because you're around people that are fine with it.